Welcome, agents, to strain number 03 CKA of the Zero Point Report, a broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is August 8th, 2019, and I'm your host for this evening, Ocho. With me tonight, we have Ember.
Hello, hello.
And we have Jimmy the Rabbit.
Hola.
I feel like I need to introduce you like a wrestling match.
Like a pro wrestler.
Yeah. And with the mask, it's kind of like a luchador sort of.
Yeah, luchadora.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Just play do 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 do.
And coming into the ring now. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show. If you're, we are recording this live. We're currently in Agartha, and we're here to talk about Secret World and Secret World Legends and anything else really we want to talk about tonight. Ember's jumping.
I'm not distracting you.
I don't seem distracted. Maybe. Oh, I am distracted.
My job here is done.
About it. So we got a bit to talk about. Not 100%, but that's okay. We don't always need to have a gigantic amount of stuff to talk about in order to come on and have a good show. So if you're around, you want to come into our stream chat, go ahead and say hey. We are, of course, in the Twitch chat as well. So yeah, hope you're all having a good evening, and let's get into it. How are you guys doing? It's been a bit. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. It's been pretty good.
So we were gonna have a show on schedule last week, but we've been having a couple of issues medically over here, so it's been rough. It's been a rough couple of months. I'm not gonna lie. It has not been fun, and the last thing, it's like, all right, yeah, I'm getting excited to, do the show, and then all of a sudden, all this pain hits, and I'm like, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing but just lean back and groan into the air, basically.
I don't know what to do with that statement. Nothing good. Nothing good.
I was just trying to make it as awkward as humanly possible. So we have some news. We have some news going on. There was a quick patch on August 7th. So any beehives that you have in your inventory should now be tradable for anima shards if you still have them.
Oh, which I do. It says
Pretty
expired.
sure I deleted most of them already.
What's that?
So I'm pretty sure I deleted most of them already.
I would say they're only 1,000 shards each, so I mean, it's not like it's the end of the world if you got rid of them beforehand. But it's still an extra nice little chunk if you still got them around. I've still got a couple around. I held on to them. I didn't think they were taking up that much space.
I have base inventory, and I have 3.8 million shards. So
Right? Yeah, it's not exactly
It's like,
a
whatever.
priority.
Get out. And my museum's done. So what am I gonna do with that? Nothing.
We need something for Jimmy to do.
I'm doing them. I'm doing all the things.
End game.
Oh, he's doing enough too.
Sam,
Jimmy's been busy, especially with your one IP man.
Yeah.
Eric.
Well, yeah, one IP man's in. He's got his wings. He's got his wings.
Got his wings.
He's grinding out the rest of Tokyo. He's already got his peculiar box. He's ready to hit up Tank Commander as soon as I'm done 100%ing zones. And
that's the goal, right? That's the key.
yeah,
Basically, if you don't know, Jimmy the Rabbit has a character that he created that is just one IP, one max IP.
correct.
Because you can't escape the introduction without at least getting one IP.
Yeah, the bastards force you to equip like a level 4 green weapon so, to complete the tutorial.
So with that, you've basically been just going through the game as that. You leveled up during the anniversary event using
Yes.
the golems and the hate keeper and whatnot. So you leveled up using that, and then you were able to tackle at a max level, at least, with 1 IP or 0 IP.
0 IP. Yeah, basically I've been playing the whole game with 0 IP. I got 1 IP from the tutorial, but I've had no gear equipped and base green weapons. So I've been 0 IP like the whole run. 1 IP is just his max, which since the tank commander scales to your max IP, that was the important.
All right, that's the experiment.
Yeah,
That's the experiment.
Tank commander auto scales to your highest recorded item power, not the gear you're wearing, not your item power now, your highest recorded.
So really, the question is whether the tank commander is going to scale to a minimum IP level,
Yes.
or if it will actually scale to any IP level.
Right. My personal guess is that it's just gonna essentially default to like an E1.
Is that the lowest that it can go?
I mean, normally okay, let me put it this way. Normally, the lowest you would see scaled content go to, right, is E1. Any content we have that you can pick, it's like E1 through E10, right? Except for the factions, I guess. Technically, the factions you can only unlock at E3, E4, and E5. But everything else in the game, like Dark Agartha, Cult Defense, all that kind of stuff, that's scaling, or even dungeons, right? In the raid, like you have your scaling starts at E1. Some of them might have story mode, like the raid has story mode, but any scaling starts at E1 and goes up. So what the curiosity is, does it actually like start at E1, or because it's based on the item power, like is it multiplying? What's it doing?
Yeah. And so one of the best ways to test that is see what the lower bound is.
Yeah. We're just gonna.
So if he goes in there, I'm kind of excited because if he goes in there at 1 IP, like I'm sure there's probably a lower bound to it. There probably is. It's set for E1.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
But if for some reason he shows up with like 500 health or something, it's gonna be
right.
Like, whoa, what the fuck?
But I really hope, that it's actually not that. It actually will scale down to almost nothing. So yeah, you walk in there and he's got 5 health. That'd be great.
I mean, I could say with max IP, he had like 3 point something million, 3.8 million, I think. When I did him on Jimmy with max IP. And by the way, I didn't even have max IP when I actually fought him because I had switched out some stuff. I think I was down like 10 item power, but I was fighting him at max because I had reached max before swapping out pieces. But yeah, and also that fight, by the way, when I killed him and I looked at ACT, I had done well over 7 million damage because he gets heals during that fight.
Yeah.
So
you're doing a lot more than
yeah, a lot more than even his base health of like 3.8 or whatever it was. I think it was 3 point something. I want to say 3.8, 3 point something. I have to go look at the VOD and see for sure. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It's just gonna be interesting to see like what he's at. I'm honestly surprised how well. I mean, granted, I used the anniversary and boosted this character into level 50. Basically started Kingsmith level 50, so all the XP gained since then has all just been
filling out
passives
cards,
and capstones. But to have no gear and not even all the passives and like a fraction of the capstones, and to be running around Kaiden and fairly easily dealing with packs of like 8 filth creatures at once without dying is kind of crazy.
It is a little crazy. It kind of makes you think, well, how important is the gear anyway? And it kind of alludes to, well, if you have a good build, and
if you have a good build, and if you just were like, let's say, if you didn't push, right? If you just repeated content in other lower zones, because you figure the anniversary counted is like repeating a lot of content, right? 10k XP per golem. That's a lot of XP.
That's a lot of repeating, yeah.
Right. So, but like, just for instance, if you just stayed in Kingsmith and like repeated the whole thing a few times, or you know what I mean, before moving forwards, So it's kind of interesting. I think people overfocus. I'm gonna go ahead and say people overfocus on the gear and just push as fast as possible through zones, right?
Yeah, because the majority of people want to continue just to go through the whole storyline instead of having to say, "Oh, let's do Kingsmith 2 or 3 times."
It's like the capstones and getting all the passives is something most people do, you know, assuming they do it. I mean, I have people in my E10 raid group that don't have all their passives and caps. You know what I mean? They're like in legendary gear, and I look at their base health for the raid. I'm like, why is your base health 5K and not 8K? Someone's been slacking on their missions, you know. So but it just goes to show you what a difference it makes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's not just the gear. Like that stuff makes a huge amount of difference.
And I'm kind of surprised that doesn't become part of your IP anyway. That doesn't become part of item power, I guess. But I mean, it does. But it doesn't.
It does
I mean,
affect
literally,
your stats.
okay.
It affects your other stats. You can watch like your combat power go up. Like, I unlocked, just the other day I unlocked one of the end tier attack rating upgrades passives. You know, it's like plus 67 attack rating, and you watch my combat power go up by 5 points, which it's like, well, crap. But I mean, if you think about it, then too, you got agents, right? Like, I got one agent I'm trying to level more because every little bit helps at this stage. But if I manage to get the one agent to 50, I could slot her and get plus 600 attack rating. Like that's going to significantly affect my character's combat power without having any actual gear.
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest difference, running no gear is like you're never gonna be able to run as.
No.
You know what I mean?
You wouldn't expect to actually run.
Well, it's one of the things like you didn't really think about at the beginning, but it was like I'm never gonna have time and space. My gadgets are never gonna have their cooldown lower because you know what I mean. I'm never gonna have the quickness signet and be able to run faster. Because I just simply I can't slot a signet because I'm not wearing gear.
You can't get any of the really fun stuff, basically.
Yeah, like all my gadgets will forever have the max cooldown, So I like impair something and great, I can impair another thing in like a full minute for later.
Yes, right. Save that.
Where you max the time and space and your cooldown your gadget goes down to like 10 seconds or something crazy. So yeah, it's been an interesting run as far as that goes.
I'm really curious to see what it will be.
Also,
part of me is really hoping that you get in there and you can one shot them.
Right? It'd be pretty hilarious. It would just be funny because
just because they're tuned to no item power.
It would be easier than the content been running to get here.
Oh, by far. Yeah, by far it'd be easier.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. You just walk in and they just like fall right over.
I don't anticipate that being the case.
No, neither do I.
Because I guarantee you, no one ever was like, "Oh yeah, someone's gonna hit this with one item power."
Never.
Guarantee you that was never a thing.
It'll actually break the server.
I would laugh so hard.
They're like, how? How did that happen?
Well, they never thought it would multiply by 1.
Yeah, right. That's right. Always thought it'd be at least 2.
Actually, they probably thought it would always be at least 100. I think most people wouldn't like. Basically, if you're E1, you're 100 item power. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like,
is that what E1 is? 100? Okay.
Yeah. I think it used to be more. They actually removed it. E1 used to have a limit, and then they made it so that if you're level 50, you're E1. But back like around launch, E1 had a number you had to hit. So just because you hit level 50 didn't mean you could do E1 content.
Oh yeah, no, that was good when they removed that.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like, because again, you can hit level 50 with no gear, and should I really be in E1 content?
Well, you can try.
Yeah, but you're a like, if you're queuing for a dungeon, you're a detriment to the party. Like at this state, I'm not. I'm so past level 50. I have so many capstones and stuff. Like my DPS actually is pretty much equivalent to I think like blue gear at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's. I'm doing all right. Like I don't feel bad about the damage output. It feels pretty okay.
Which actually kind of makes it wonder why they use item power as such a hard number stat. Like for
It's the easiest thing to track, honestly. I think.
probably, but I mean, like you can have if you get all the other the capstones and whatnot that create like a character power. Actually, have it be like a separate stat for that to have like a total power, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably not that it's not like in theory possible. It's just like it's already such a big pain to do what they have. You know what I mean? I think there's already issues even with the item power gating. That,
oh yeah.
Well, like you said, right? Like you preferred having E1, just you're level 50 and you can just go do E1 without having to be, 100 or 150 item power to do E1. So what you're asking for is essentially the opposite of what you like about what it is now, because what you're asking for would segregate things even more.
But that's a number that like you would just get through the basic course of the game itself.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Depending on if you rerun missions or not, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have a vastly different character power, and then when you're queuing for stuff, who's queuing for you with that same character power, or queuing with you, I should say? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
If you think the segregation of tiers is bad now, if it was based on like actual character power, it would be worse.
I don't know, I'm just thinking back to like I'm thinking back to the original Secret World and how it's basically like, if you could at least if you did what came before, if you can get through the content that came before, you can try to do what came after.
I mean, that's how Occult Defense works.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I like I don't like the gating as far as like the
there is a negative to that though, by the way.
Oh, there's total negatives to that, of course.
Because I mean, it's a positive in Occult Defense because you can carry, but at the same time, that means that your friend that's like barely level 50 and is doing nothing, like you've now enabled him to go queue for like wave 21. You know what I mean? Like, and if he gets into wave 21 with someone that can't carry him, they're gonna be really pissed off. Like, it's okay to take your friends into Occult Defense and boost them. Like, I think it's necessary and it needs to be there. And I wish Dungeons was the same way. But when you enable them to public queue, depending on if they're smart enough to realize they shouldn't be public queuing for higher stuff or not, that could be a problem.
Well, I mean,
because they could be like,
I wouldn't necessarily do that. But...
Right, but some people would be like, oh, it lets me do 21, I'll queue for 21. And then everyone's gonna be like, why the hell is your damage so low? You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm thinking of it like a difference between queuing for stuff solo and queuing for stuff in a group.
Yes, yeah. And like, if you can do it, you should be able to do it. I 100% agree. And I mean, and I'm not saying it's not worth the drawbacks either. I think it is worth the drawbacks. I'm just saying you have to be prepared, right? You're gonna get people that like, just people are gonna want to vote retreat because they're like, no, dude, you're actually like E1 material and you don't belong in E10 because you're not carrying your weight. And if we're all just barely here, we can't carry you too and complete the content. You know what I mean?
True.
So like, you'll end up with those situations, but we had that in TSW,
Yeah, but I mean, that's I feel like it's also kind of an MMO thing. You're always gonna get people who are a little under where they should be and a little over where they, for the content, and it'll balance
You
itself
hope
out.
it
That's
balances
why.
out, but you do
hope
end
it
up with queues where you just have to vote retreat because, and then you have that inevitable like where people are just like, oh, public queue. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And that's why looking for group exists. And then you get people who are like demanding, certain gear ratings or
demanding
items.
certain item power, demanding certain
It's always just pissing me off because most of the time, what pisses me off about that is not that I don't understand it, right? Because the reason that exists is because the public queues are so poor.
Yeah, it's because they want to succeed no matter what people they get.
Right, they just want it. But what I've found really shitty about that in both in TSW, which you got for like all content, people are doing that. But in this game as well, is like the numbers they asked for is ridiculous. Like they'll ask for unnecessary numbers, and I'm just like, what? You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
They're like, we're gonna do E5 raid. Right? I've seen this by the way in Legends, like recently. We're gonna do E5 New York raid. And we're looking for people that are 1,000 plus IP. Excuse me? 1,000 plus IP is E10 raid. Like, why are you requiring E10 people to join
do an E5 raid?
Random E5 raid. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, come on. Require people that are actually E5 level. You know what I mean? Or maybe you want to step up. Maybe you're looking for like E6. Or you want
a little more assurance.
You want some cushion or something, but like Jesus, why are you requiring E10 people to come like face roll your E5 raid? Like that's I don't know. Or like
because they're just looking to do it as quick as possible. That's why they're looking at a they're looking at they want to complete it. They don't want any guesses as far as completing it goes, and they want to do it as fast as humanly possible.
Like, or the lair groups that advertise like you can do the lair, but they'll take you. They just need a warm body. But if you're not like 1K IP, then we want you to 100% allocate to health. Like you have to, or we're not taking you. Because they just want you to survive.
Which I guess that's a little more fair.
Like but it's insulting as all hell. Like if I'm IP 800, I can't do DPS because you think I'm gonna fall over dead.
Yeah, because the boss is gonna sneeze and I'm gonna fall over.
I mean, in layers, like stuff happens, right? Like, and then people die, and then you have to wait because if they're not alive when you're collecting pieces or fucking kills, then like the side missions don't. Like, I understand that it's like the uber safe, child padded room version, but it's just insulting at some point, to also put that level so high. I guess again is like 1K IP not necessary for layers like at all. Not to be safe, you know what I mean? You could allocate like I don't know 50% health and still be fine, even if you got randomly attacked. It just makes you want to join a lair with 1 IP, man,
And why
Make it
not?
interesting.
Totally, 100%. See what happens. I'm all for it. I like these experiments.
You know what's funny about that? Because this is something I did in the Dark Agartha when I was doing a 0 IP Dark Agartha stuff. When I was first doing it, I was anima allocating and like an idiot. It's like, wait a minute, I don't have any gear.
It doesn't work.
You don't have any gear to allocate. Hello.
Yeah, it's a.
Jimmy's falling apart.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm making sure. But yeah, like I don't know, it was I don't know, it's just so silly to like be, and then like what's funny is I sort of got allocated more tank, and then I did better on my run. It's like one had nothing to do with the other. It was like right, it only changes the stats on your gear you have equipped, and I have no gear equipped, so obviously it doesn't do anything. But somehow my run after I took my allocation was much better. I think it was just like a mental What is it? What is it called? I'm blanking so hard right now. When you take the pill, the placebo effect.
Okay, yeah.
Right? You take like the sugar pill, and you're like, oh yeah, everything, my headache's gone. It's like a placebo
Well,
effect.
of course your headache's gone, right?
I placebo effect. I have an anime allocation placebo effect.
You're like, no, I'm in healing now. I'm gonna be doing more healing.
I'm totally working. Totally working. Like, yeah. But yeah. So one IP man has been fun. The small break I took to do the 0 IP solo raid, that was interesting. My controller still has not recovered from that, by the way. Like I have like 4 controllers sitting around here. I'm gonna have to buy a 5th one. Like I messed it up. I've randomly run forward. Like I've had this slight like left or right drift happening when I let go.
Yeah, so it just has just more drift.
Joy-Con
I've had the left or right drift for a while. Like I just let go, and also my mouse is like very slowly creeping. The cursor, you can see it, and I like touch the joystick to fix it, and then it's fine. But I think holding forwards on the joystick for like 40 minutes in the solo raid, yeah,
a little much.
Panic gripping it. Like my hands hurt after that. I think I was like just panic holding the controller as tight as possible and shoving that joystick forwards as hard as possible for the 30 minutes kiting session. And yeah, like now when I push forwards and I like let go, I'll just like keep running. Oops.
Say well. Yeah, I've been certainly enjoying your 1 IP, man. I think that's been a really entertaining and just a really good concept.
Yeah, I honestly don't know
for a character.
What's after this, to be fair.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm sure there'll be something, but I mean, I don't know. I thought I was out of ideas after the first person, and then after the no UI, I thought I was out of ideas.
Well, I mean, there's always something that'll come down the line and say, oh, okay, well, there's that one thing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I assume at some point it'll be like...
Yeah, like, I just can't think of any more.
I'll be like, yeah... Or whatever's left to think of will just be so... either...
Like,
I won't say dumb, because I
the entire game upside down. Or, no, don't do that.
Yeah, don't say things like that, because then I start thinking about it, and
give
that's
him
not...
ideas.
Yeah, because
I said that I immediately regretted it.
I was gonna say, because like now I have to think about that.
It's like, hacker, I should
mean,
not have said that.
It's possible. It's possible. It's really, really stupid though.
Oh, it's totally stupid. That's
what I thought.
Detrimental
to your health.
That's ridiculous. He would never. Wait, no, he might.
Yeah, he would.
See, stupid won't stop me, but there is a level of where I'm just like, yeah, like, okay, that's just, I don't want to say silly, but like, someone said something the other day, and I was like, yeah, but that's just dumb. There's a difference between silly and dumb.
Right, yeah.
And
I mean, no,
I'm not gonna,
totally is.
I'm not gonna kill myself so you guys can watch it and laugh if I'm not having fun doing it as well.
Right. It has to be.
I mean?
It has to be fun for you. It has to be some sort of challenge. It has to be some sort of.
Yeah.
You have to be getting something out of it. You know, it's the whole. You know, out of every fiction has a little nugget of truth in it somewhere, and that's what makes the fiction real. That's what makes the fiction, you know, hard hitting, is that it has some sort of tie to reality, even though it's still fiction.
Yeah, like it's got to be something like, okay, like the solo raid, so dumb, and like killed me doing it, like literally like killed me physically, mentally. Like that was just insane. But it didn't take. I mean, honestly, it was like what, a total of maybe 6 hours or something.
Okay.
Like over the course of like 2 weeks, you know, like maybe like 2 couple-hour sessions and some testing in between, like.
Well, then it just became a puzzle, because once you
yeah,
because you were saying you basically went into the New York raid, the story mode obviously, but you went into New York raid, right, one IP total, and you you got like insta wiped. But
No, I insta-wiped in phase 2.
Oh, no, that's right.
Yeah, I did actually make it to.
You made it pretty far.
I was really surprised on one IP man how far I went, honestly.
Yeah.
And then it made
You went
me
pretty
think,
far,
like,
and then you hit a wall, and you were like, "Wait a minute, I can get past this wall. This is not a wall that is."
what I figured was, like, Jimmy can do 0 IP, but he has wings, so maybe I can get past the glut of ads that you start phase 2 with, because that's what killed him. Because he had no way to deal with 40 ads at once, right? So like, I was like, okay, I can do 0 IP, but on a character that actually has all his capstones and all his passives. So it's still 0 item power, but more powerful. And have wings, so I can deal with the ads. That got me past phase 2. Or, that got me past the entrance to phase 2. Then, for some reason, I had it in my head that, like, oh, well, I can just kite the flappies around until phase 3 and then use the buff circles to kill them. And then somehow it didn't trigger in my head that, like, at the time, that it's the flappies dying to trigger the NPCs coming out for phase 3. You have to kill all the birds before the next phase starts. So that was the thing. Nothing like running around with 4 flappies casting downfalls at you constantly.
I was saying, and them, yeah, just kiting them, killing them takes forever.
So I did, so really it was 3 runs, I guess, total, right? Because the 1 IP man was just kind of like screwing around, and I was just really surprised how far I went. And then the weekend with Jimmy where I went and actually got to phase 3 and then hit that final resort wall and was like, I don't know if this is possible. Which, made me think, is this possible? Like, then I had to start strategizing.
Right. Then it becomes a puzzle. Then it becomes And
I got PJ to one of my club members to come, like, carry me to the end of the raid and then let me test some things. So I didn't have to spend, hours soloing it. I got to test stuff right at the end, figure out HP triggers, when things happen. I was like, okay, this is doable if I can get the whole way through the raid myself. But I mean, that was literally like a weekend activity. I was doing 1 IP man like all week, and then just on the weekend did that. So, I don't know. There's stuff there. I mean, there's stuff to. Here's the thing about this game, right? Even when there's not stuff to do, there's stuff to do.
There's stuff to do.
You just have to find it.
It's there. You just gotta want it. That's all. You just gotta want it. Gotta picture it.
Then it'll make itself known to you.
In the update to the Beehives, where the in case you don't know, we've had an update to the game where the Beehives from the anniversary event are now clickable for anima shards, which is nice. It's something that happened last year. Same thing. You could just get a reward for them, and not too bad. But it seemed that patch kind of broke things a little bit. Well, maybe not that patch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. Here's the thing, right? All their MMOs became unreachable. All of them.
Yes.
So it's unlikely that patch, unless it somehow affected the data center itself.
It doesn't seem feasible.
It's highly coincidental that they finally patched the hives and then.
But the hives were patched. But yeah, the login and server issues abounded, and all day on August 7th, issues occurred, such that all Funcom games were afflicted with login issues and authentication issues and a whole bunch. So here we are, August 8th, and I think everything's fixed. Pretty sure. I got in just fine.
Yeah.
Ember got in just fine. But Andy posted on the Discord, he said, "Hey everyone, as an apology for compensation for yesterday's authentication and connectivity issues, we're granting 2 cache keys to everyone. You have until the end of Monday, Universal Time, to claim this. Additionally, catalysts and imbuers are 50% off and ability skill points are 30% off through Monday. And lastly, we're prepping No Limits free dungeon scenario and lair key weekend scheduled to begin now and ending Tuesday, August 13th in the morning. So it wasn't just, connectivity issues, but they went ahead and just gave everybody, we have a no keys weekend going on. So all dungeons, all scenarios, all lairs, free keys. You use up all your keys and then keep using them. And this will be going on until Tuesday morning.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. That is nice for a compensation, I would say.
And it's something that I don't think anyone really asked for either.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
In not forums, but yeah, the forums or a Discord.
No, as soon as there was problems, there is squeaky
you got the
wheels
usual
on Discord.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, like, where's my free key? Where's my free stuff?
People, come on.
So always really annoying. Like, no one owes you because their data center had a problem. I mean, it's super awesome that they did that, but like, even if okay, so from what I remember, there was at least some issue was actually data center related. There may have been other parts that were like their issue, but there was some issue with the actual data center stuff, from what I remember we're seeing on Discord from Andy.
I said it makes sense because all the games were affected.
Yeah. Now then, some of them came back up, and then there were still problems with Legends. I don't remember if there were still problems with something else. So like, there was. In fact, I think the game was even up for a little bit during the day, and then went down again. You know what I mean? Like they had some kind of recurring issue. But even so, like, okay, so there's a technical difficulty. Does that really entitle you to, like, some sort of reward? Like, no?
These are part of the same people that call their cable company if it goes out for like 2 minutes. It's like, I want a free credit for a full day.
Yeah, right? Like,
gimme.
Happen.
Yeah.
Like, But yeah, I know there was like, not a flood of it, thankfully. Not like, hundreds of people or anything, or even I think more than like 5. But
right.
Still, like, for me personally, it's kind of annoying to see like it just that gimme attitude like immediately is like, really, you guys, come on.
I guess it's because like every other game will also do the same thing. They'll bend over backwards, but then I feel like that's been like a slippery slope.
It is, yeah.
Now, I will say it has been a little while since they did any kind of weekend thingy, and people have noticed that in general. And then they could have done other ones, The no key is, like, particularly amazing. And I think they don't do it very often, like, honestly, on purpose. Like...
Oh, yeah, no, they seem to hold it for the big stuff. Usually they would go with a double experience or double... I don't know.
Empowerment weekend, I think, is the other one. A lot of people save their keys for empowerment weekend. For instance, Mikey, with all your keys you've hoarded.
Oh yeah,
empowerment weekend, your gear would skyrocket because you open all those distillates and you get like double XP for 8K distillates. You know what I mean? Like base we were 8K distillates.
We were talking before the show, and right with everyone getting 2 cash keys. Yeah, I've got a lot of cache keys. I've been waiting for a cache that I really like to open. Like I just haven't been a fan of the caches and what they currently hold. So I've been waiting for a cache that I've been really a big fan of to open, and I've got 92 keys stored away.
Like, if you wait for an empowerment weekend, you probably just like open all that shit and hit like the 1K IP, like no problem.
Right? Yeah, I'll be on your level soon.
Be like, hey guys, let's raid.
If anything, the my inventory space is what's gonna hurt the most there. I'm like, what? I'm E10 now. Let's do this. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's it's nice that they did. Also, interestingly enough, is that it's 2 cache keys per character, not per account.
That's what you notice too, is that because Jimmy's got a lot of characters, and yeah, it ends up being 2 cache keys per character.
Yes. Not per account.
So, not per account. It's per character.
But
So if you have multiple characters on your account.
Before Monday, claim all your keys.
Yeah, just go ahead, log in for about, 30 minutes it'll take you to do.
I'll say, but the keys are per account.
No.
Right?
Per character.
The cache keys are per character. Like, so I mean, like, I have 5 characters, so I gotta log into each character, hit claim, and each one will get 2 keys.
No, but I mean, like, the keys overall?
Your normal daily login keys are per account.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
so if I create another character and I'll go on that one, I'll still have the 92 cache keys.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But whatever one you open it on, like that's like, so I've done that by accident before, right? I've been in like not on my main character and accidentally logged in and claimed the daily key on the wrong character and been really pissed off. So that's happened. But in this case, because I was actually on a different character when this came through, and I saw the 2 keys, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go log to Jimmy and make sure I got them on him." And then I went back, and they're like still there, and I was like, "Wait, what?
Yeah, wait a
Hold
minute.
on a second." But because they did it live while the server was running, like you would not see them on the character you were on when they implemented it. And then you would log to your other character and see them and be like, and some people are like, "Hey, why didn't I get another character?" But if you went and logged back into it, now it had them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Like
you had to
turning it
log
off
out
and turning it
back
back on again.
Yeah. So that was the thing where people were like, I think I saw a post get posted and deleted like 2 seconds later because they figured it out.
Hey, where is my? Oh wait, no, I got it. I've got it.
Yeah. They didn't even like
I'm not angry anymore. I'm good. I'm good.
They didn't even like change the post or type it. They just deleted the original post like within seconds. But yeah, it's. I mean, I think I've seen that happen before. Honestly, cache keys per character. I don't think that's happened. I think that is a new milestone.
That is a new, and yeah, we're not exactly sure if that's on purpose. Probably not, is our guess. But hey, it's only a couple of cache keys.
But no one can prove it. No one can prove it wasn't on purpose.
But no one can prove it was right. It wasn't totally on purpose.
It is definitely unprecedented.
Yeah, especially for
And I don't think they're going to advertise that either.
No. Well,
I mean,
I think
it says
Andy-
you can claim them. I guess it doesn't specifically say account or character. It just says 2 keys.
It just says we're granting 2 cache keys to everyone.
yeah.
Well, I guess every one is every
Character.
Everyone. Take it as you
Everyone.
will. It's like
It's the Oprah moment.
it's like what's like
I
one of my
was just
favorite.
gonna say that. You get a car and you get a car.
Bees. It's like the term shortly. I always that's like one of the most infuriating and one of the best terms to use when you're talking about time when it comes to something. You're like, oh, I'll have that shortly, because shortly doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a damn thing. The term shortly it could mean like 2 days. It could mean 20 minutes. There is no exactness at all to the term shortly.
Do the opposite and be like, "Yeah, I'll have that for you longly."
That's right. Like, yeah, when will we have that? Longish. Let's go with that. Yeah.
They're like, "What the hell is longish?"
You're like, it's a little more than shortly. That's
Yeah.
mid.
It's
mid
another
time.
indefinite length of time, but it's just longer than whatever you think.
But once I figured out that basically when you say shortly, that how many people actually use the term shortly. Like, oh yeah, I'll have that to you shortly. No idea. You could have that whenever.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blow-off statement, honestly.
It totally is. 100% is. And then I started using it more.
Or I'll get to that. You
Right,
know?
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I'll get to that.
I'll get to that. What does that
For
mean?
my last email.
I'll get to that. What
It
the hell I
means I
damn
will
well
actually
feel
get
like
to
it.
that, but not now.
The,
So yeah, so they said 2 cache keys to everyone. What does everyone mean? Who knows? It's okay. That's all right. Everyone.
You guys wanna do something like in the game?
Totally.
Let's do it.
Totes my goats. We could do, you know what we could do pretty quickly? We could do some E1 dungeon runs, just hunt for some agents in peculiar boxes.
That's good, because I need me some agents.
Yeah, might actually find one.
So the agents can only randomly drop out of the last chest if it's... But the peculiar box apparently has a higher drop chance from any blue chest in a dungeon.
Interesting.
So when people are doing E1 dungeon runs nowadays, it's like kind of a twofer. You're hoping for the last chest to be blue, and you're hoping for an agent in there, right? But also any blue chest along the way used to skip, right? You used to only share with the last one, because that's where your agent could come from. And most people like speedrunning E1 don't open the chest because it's not going to do anything for your character if you're already E10 plus.
Yeah.
But now there's a reason to open the blue chest you happen to get like in the middle, like along the way, because apparently peculiar boxes like to drop them.
Stood no chance against the invaders.
Gives them more of a chance to actually pick up the blue ones.
Sure to destroy us
And
yeah, these two guys here are actually worse than the bot every time. Like, these guys are...
I was actually just wondering, I was like, what should my build be? And realizing it doesn't matter at all.
Not when you get with Jimmy.
Yeah, not for this. Not for this. If we were trying to do like an E5 or something, then maybe. But not.
I mean, I just don't necessarily do dungeons that much, so.
See, Darkness War like still takes a little bit because they're just HP sponges. Like if you guys need them, by the way, like feel free to open those. Like, honestly, I could even open them. It doesn't hurt any because it doesn't cost keys right now.
It costs you any keys, yeah.
The only thing it would cost me, I guess, was anima shards, like upgrading, like using really low distillings on red gear is super expensive.
Yeah. But didn't you also have 3
Yeah, I'm
something
not really
million?
doing anything with the shards anyways. Kind of doesn't matter. Whatever. It's like the wall didn't want to go away. Wait, is it still not
That's
going away?
still there.
The wall's not going away.
That's
We broke
awesome!
it.
I've never broken it that way before. This
It's
is the best day ever. By the way, we're lucky because you can actually walk around this boss. You guys know
Can
that?
you?
Yeah.
We're
I
at.
wonder, like, although I think we broke the mission because it says end the Mayan assault. Nope.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
how did that happen? That's amazing.
We did it too fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Too
but
much
I've
damage.
done this fast before.
Oh, he came back. He's back.
Oh,
Oh,
there he
that's
is.
why. That's why. I was gonna say, like, that's crazy though. Like he died, but like didn't or something. I mean, no, he did die. Right, the loot chest is there. It just bugged the hell out.
Oh, the wall's still there.
Did it do it again?
Yeah.
Well, this is something.
Right. Let's see if we can run all the way out. All the way
Well,
out.
Volver says that, yeah, killed before the mission could update, like the 5th boss in the Polaris.
So we have to kill him slower. That's the key.
Okay. I was gonna throw a fireball.
Wow, he
Oh, they
really,
died.
really didn't like it. That actually might be good. No, I don't know why he
might be
didn't. Like, he might have the aggro build.
I was gonna say he latched on to me.
There is a bug actually where he just starts aggroing everyone besides the tank, like besides the guy who should have aggro, starts one-shotting him. On purpose, he was letting him finish his guy.
It's perfect.
Yay!
There you
we
go.
do it?
Death made
Yeah,
it so
we got
could
it.
get through.
Blessing
But yeah, you can actually walk around this boss, by the way.
with the
Just
power
swim around him or
of all
something?
our
Oh,
rites and
okay,
rituals
okay.
along
You guys
with
wanna
those
see?
of the Vikings, with every
I'm gonna get.
It'll break the mission.
with a weapon in
No,
their
different
hands.
guesses than doing
They
tonight.
were ready.
It'll break the mission because the tier will never upgrade, like update. The tier will never update,
Right.
right? So like you'll finish the dungeon but not get a mission completion, right? Because the mission can't progress if you skip it. But yeah,
Not too often we actually see the swimming animation.
Oh, there's a
you
lure.
have to go.
Gotta go around.
There's a way through here. Is it up? I think it's up. Yeah, it's up here. Ta-da!
Look at that.
So, if you ever want to just skip this guy and don't care about completing the mission, you totally can.
I do love the atmosphere.
Secrets of the secret world.
It's what you came for, right?
Right?
That's a good shit.
That's what she said.
What? Oh, okay. I don't think that works. That without...
Sure.
That's what she came for.
Oh.
Right?
What is
What?
Jimmy?
Ah, gotcha. You guys were really slow on the uptake there.
No.
Alright, so you can get this guy right here, and like you can't charge through this little part here. See?
Stopped by a tiny.
Yep. Just like every New York Raider ever.
That's true. What am I caught on? Oh, a rock.
Or just a crack in the floor. You're like running from shadow or something. And you're like, I can't move. I can't move. I'm gonna die.
Or like a tree branch.
Time was
It's
short.
kind of like, you know what it is? Like
Darkness had to be
basically
stopped.
your character's permanently on a skateboard. Those little triangle rocks just screw up your day.
By magic.
All right. Somehow New Yorkers have trouble with
It's too fast.
I've seen my little like doppelganger here. Like,
is he trying to go to Agartha? What's going on here?
no, that's
Yeah.
his attack phase, but he can't get up there. Can't get up there to attack him. I've seen him try and climb up. It's pretty funny. Like he was in a floating animation and just like when he boarded up top, he tried to follow him. It was really strange. See, the Revenant gets confused too. Well, do you guys?
He's
You guys? Look, they're both still here.
Yeah.
They're both hanging out.
Yeah, no, you're doppelganger.
Chilling.
Revenant's just chill. Oh, there he goes.
Oh wow. He just
waited.
Yeah, that's Revenant. Do you guys know how he turns like ads into bombs, right? Like this guy.
Yeah.
Like he'll eventually like phase whatever. He'll start turning them. Did you know he'll turn other things into bombs?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like,
Like cosmetic shit you throw, or like the snow fort wall. Like, yeah, like, he'll turn other things into bombs that you can place. Like other placeables.
kind of lovely.
You cannot continue alone. The forest is flooded with
Like,
blackness.
I've been, like, in a
wept from
raid,
the
right,
wound in the
someone-
mountain.
Someone
have
throws
spoken
down
to
the
the
snow
earth.
wall or whatever.
I asked
But,
it to
like,
guide you across
can
the
do that.
danger. Walk
do that
into its
there,
golden light
and then
now.
he'll be like, "Oh, that's not a player character, so it must be something I can turn into a bomb." And then he does. It's pretty hilarious.
Even with the Norsemen on our side, the battle was hard.
I just like how the Revenant was so patient. He was like,
That
"Wait a
That
minute,
was crazy. He
he'll come
apparently
back."
doesn't have a timeout. Well, you know,
No,
he's
he's like, he'll,
It had long
the
been
bad guy will come
guarded
back.
by
I know he
our
will.
people.
And as soon as he came back, he did the attack and left.
He- he's summoned though from the white, whereas the other one's a gadget, right? And the gadget effects I think are maybe more time constrained.
Yeah, this is a weapon power.
Yeah, yeah.
For this reason,
Well, they used to
could
be
not
really
allowed
broken.
Close.
I think he could turn the Revenant into a bomb.
Probably.
I think he used to be able to. Also, that one lair boss in Scorched Desert that does like the circle ring stuff where it puts a ring on a player and like you have to hug and all stay in the ring. He would randomly target a person or the Revenant.
Oh no!
I wiped my entire raid group before they finally fixed that because I had the Revenant blade, and like the timing of it has to be so perfect, right? But it would do, you know, the Revenant goes out, and then he randomly picked a target for the circle and put it on the Revenant, and the Revenant ran at him, which means like we all weren't near him when the donut went off and killed us all.
I mean, personally, I just love the weapon too much. I love my Revenant friend. Just so much. That it's like, any other shotgun comes out or any other weapon comes out, it's like, yeah, but I've still got the Shadowbound stuff, so I mean, it'll always be around somewhere. Alright, so, we're doing this.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull everything to the corner. Give me a sec. So they all render back in.
Who knows? We have to fight that one guy 3 times.
Oh, I
See?
guess Jimmy was going on to the other corner.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, this is the new meta.
This is the real corner.
No, I mean that used to be the old method, and then for a long time even in Legends. But the newer method is over here, and actually I would normally put them even. And then what happens is like the tank tanks this way, and so when they add revive in phase 3, they have to run through everyone's AOE attacks on the boss. So all those AR users, all the Manny circles that you're hitting the boss with right here, right like this, like they have to run through it. So everyone's just on this side. And they kind of all die without you even having to pay attention to them. That's like the reason. The reason for
Okay. So scientifically,
yeah, there was a reason that
the
happened.
strategy has been upgraded. Okay, respect. Yeah.
Leave the health pot there just in case.
He's a good boy. Big wingy boy.
It's a winged pupper.
It's so cute.
What? That last shot.
Hey guys, what's going on? Oh, never mind. That's the That was me. This
great. That was great. I was like, they're all dying to the Manny, and you're like, and take that. Boom. I'm literally just using my basic attack. That's the seeking bullet chaining between them.
nice.
The Norsemen had brought with them the powers
Look, this
of
is
their gods,
Polaris
something
boss
the
3.
Mayans were not prepared for.
You see his name?
Its pure light, terrifying
Very
all
good.
foes, but when it was cast upon the enemy and burned
Yeah, if you look at the Polaris boss 3, the guy
its
in
lives
electric
hard,
water,
it was a good
Yeah.
light,
he's
Same
the
guy?
red.
by
Yep.
friends and
Dude.
allies.
And if you read the
You fell
lore,
so far.
if you read the lore, when they left here, they never made it back home. They sunk in the ocean with the sword, and the other guys got turned into Drog.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a god.
Yeah, kind of how the sword made its way back to Kingsmouth.
So yeah, that guy, he's actually you actually see him
Boss.
as a boss in Polaris. Pretty cool.
I feel bad for him now.
Yeah, he kind of had a good deal there.
This kid's got a really terrible deal. Yeah.
Someone was asking us streaming. Something passing on YouTube, and someone said, what did they say? They said, "Is there any happy endings in this game?" It's like, I don't think so.
Not really.
I don't think that's a thing.
Don't fight
I was like trying to think about it. I'm like, not really.
that gaping mouth and
Because
our
even
enemy
if
was
they're kind of, it's all with the like overarching kind of thing that like we're all screwed.
That like that it's like what we're doing here, what we're trying to do here is all kind of futile. That
Well,
eventually
The Dark
the
Agartha
filth will win and the world will reset.
The Dark Agartha lore. No, even the world resetting is actually a plus. The world resetting is a win. Because I feel like Klein references the fact that, like, you know, we keep resetting, but something's supposed to happen at the end, right? Like, we're escaping the inevitable.
Oh yeah.
And that's what Samael is talking about at the top of the tower before the rabbits shoot the TV. They're trying to find a replacement for Gaia, right? Like they're trying to you know, not have things end. But the Dark Agartha lore is like, we're screwed. The Dark Agartha lore is like the bees telling us like we're boned. We didn't tell you this, but we're all boned. Sorry.
Thanks.
Like to quote,
what's the line
from the lore? The universe is a rotting graveyard. You are not even a maggot in that cemetery. You are one parasite in the gut of a worm writhing in the corpses. So that's positive.
Positive
Like,
Thursday.
well, that's happy. Yeah. That's a happiness right there.
Also, like the last line is like, but that is just one phase in the life cycle. We are the we were past tense, the education protocol, but we did not tell you everything. We withheld. She was not the first immaculate machine. We did not tell you what came before, what comes after. You are, and then it has like, you know, at percent and like a bunch of stuff and cuts off. But I'd like to think it just means you are fucked, as opposed to the transmission ending. It's like them swearing.
You are, yeah, just deal with it.
You're screwed. Oh, wow. You guys don't need a Radiant Ashes of Crushed Cities, do you?
I don't think so.
Mikey might. Ember's got a Shriven Souls. Mikey's got...
I got nothing.
I got a Pigment. Yeah, what is
Nothing,
it?
barely anything I have actually has color attached to it.
Oh, okay, so here, like, you know, like how completing a dungeon for the first time for the day is like a side mission and it gives you a bag?
Yeah.
I got this out of the bag.
Yo. Is that whenever you hit the same enemy 3 times in succession, you deal 342 physical damage? That's not
Yeah,
bad.
it scales. It scales though. That number scales.
I mean, it's green, so yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's a good headpiece. Like that, you would make that like legendary. You know what I mean?
Well, thank
Like
you.
like you have a mythic piece that's like standard, but I would take that one all the way to
And work on it.
Yeah. That's a crazy drop from a stupid side mission bag. Holy crap.
So I finished the mission. I didn't get anything that good out of it. Obviously.
I mean, I didn't even loot the chest. That's literally just from the. This is
That's
your
from
first
the
dungeon
side
of the
mission,
day?
yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Let's do it again. What else were we?
Well, we could talk about more, obviously.
Yeah.
It came up in our Discord that we were talking about it wanted to be discussed on the agent system. The agent system wanted to be discussed. Leo Grimm brought it up, and kind of what we thought about it after the year and a half that we have had the agent system up and active. Came out in February of 2018.
Yep.
So here, a year and a half into the agent system, kind of, what do we think about it?
I think the occult defense agents made like the biggest difference in how I think the agent system viewed and or / used, honestly.
Saying those aren't the newest ones. Those are the ones where it's it gives you damage to individual monster types.
Correct.
Which one is this? I don't think I have been in here in Secret World Legends.
Really? You haven't done Hell Eternal?
No.
Not yet.
Are you doing Legends? That is crazy, dude. That is insane.
I told you I don't run.
Oh my
dungeons.
god.
The level to which I do not actually run stuff will surprise you. That's okay. Hey, it just shows that I can enjoy the game on levels too. I enjoy them on my levels. You enjoy them on your levels. That's what makes it. That's what makes it a good. That makes it a good product. But the agent system. So,
yeah.
Now I play, and that's one of the reasons why.
So you should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
You say you want to be up here. What was that sound?
That was not me.
I was just jumping.
Ember missing a jump?
Yeah.
What?
There's also a Jinn over here.
Yeah, there's another legend over there. You know, I can turn on my Lorehound to show already dropped lore. That would be helpful. Let's see, show already.
Now, like I was saying, I play multiple games, which is why I only have one character here in Secret World, because I usually have about one character in any game I play. I'm not a big alter. If anything, my alting is I just play another game.
Yeah.
So I've seen these systems active in at least the Perfect World games are big on them. Not Secret World. Star Trek Online is big on them.
Yeah, like
Neverwinter has a system. In Neverwinter, the system is kind of the crafting system as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where they kind of combine it together, so that it's more like it's like in Neverwinter it's more like you get a couple of have escaped the attention of our invaders. I'm just gonna say a lot. You get a like when you're God dang it.
Words.
Words are hard.
Thoughts.
Come to me. Like a blacksmith. You get a blacksmith, and so you hire a blacksmith, and then the blacksmith makes items for you. And
okay, I gotcha.
You can get like a cook, and then the cook makes stuff for you, and it's like you're hiring.
So instead of you crafting, we have agents crafting for you. Right?
Yes. Yeah. But it's the same kind of concept of you leave and come back and stuff's done.
Sure.
Now, the thing that I liked about Neverwinter's execution of it was that Neverwinter actually had a full, and it was pretty.
Guys.
I know.
Lore.
There's a lore right here.
Yeah, there's one over here too.
Yeah, but there's a lore over here.
Just want to make sure you guys didn't just jump down.
True. And the way that it worked, though, is that not only did it have an in-game component, but it also had a full website component to it. So they actually had all their crafting on a separate website that could be accessed.
Weird.
That could be accessed whether you were on your cell phone or just on a second screen.
That's okay. Interesting.
And I think it was one of the best crafting systems, to be honest, because it just made it so accessible.
Yeah, because not a lot of games do that. Like external.
No, that was like the only one I've ever.
Yeah. EVE Online has like an offline component where you can set things up to start running in the background even when you're offline.
Little bastard has like no health left, but he's still running.
Get back here. So yeah, EVE Online has like a an offline leveling system. Only if you're subscribed to the game. I think I have no idea where I'm going. Ember,
Yeah.
just by the way.
I'm good.
Oh right, sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. We'll figure our way out.
It's just a
We're
right,
good, we're
left, right, and a left.
There. Okay.
There it is.
There's a legend back in here, by the way. Come back here. So let's see.
I didn't see it. Didn't come up on Lorehound.
No, there is one just like out of the way. All right, so let's go.
Lorehound, by the way, is a great
Yeah, it's amazing.
tool. It's a great add-on to the game. Oh, there it is. I mean, if you really wanted to, like, oh no, I'm gonna search out every little nook and cranny to get every one, but part of the enjoyment of the game is actually just reading the lore.
Yes, because it's amazingly well written stuff.
It's amazingly well written. I don't see anything here.
You got it already. Ember,
okay.
I was waiting
I
for
did.
Ember.
Yeah.
Oh, that is where it was. Okay, never mind. I did get it.
I have. You can set your Lorehound to show you markers for stuff you've already picked up, which is a really cool feature because it lets you show other people. Like instead of being like, I think this was, you know what I mean? Because normally once you pick up a legend, you can't see it anymore, right? It makes it really hard to show people like where a legend is. But with Lorehound, there's an option to turn on the thing to show markers for stuff you've already picked up.
And also, part of the genius of Lorehound is that it's is based off of a server. Like it takes it off of the server, so that if they like have an update to the game and they add more lore, it's automatically there.
It's just looking for anything in range. Like anything in render range, it tries to pick up.
So it is always updated as far as knowing where lore is located.
Yeah, I say like the exception to be certain specific ones. It kept showing weird stuff for Dark Agartha, but that's because of the way Dark Agartha works.
Yeah,
Lores are like basically non-accessible or only show up after you've gotten the other one. So like they're still in the zone, not reachable, right? They're sort of like hidden, if that makes sense. So Lorehound was showing like markers for shit you couldn't reach,
These foundries
which was kind of bizarre.
Future, but they are turned on us. Release this
We gotta get him to the water. Get him to the water.
Master.
Now the shield comes off. There we go.
It's coming back to me. Fight's coming back to me a little bit. I have done this dungeon before, just not in Secret World Legends.
Sanity. You know,
Has been a
there's
while,
a
though.
special legend you get from running all 3 hell dungeons within
Back to
2
back to
hours.
back.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a crystal, demonic crystal at the end. And it's the only way you get that legend is you pick up the crystal at the end of each dungeon.
So agent system. So I was saying that I also play Star Trek Online. Actually, I haven't played it in a while, but they have 2 systems that are like that. One is duty officer system, which is supposed to be duty. Yes.
Too many profound creatures have already been lost.
I regret
Duty
that.
officer system, which is supposed to represent all the other crew on your ship. And then there's also a top level, what do they call it? It's basically like a fleet. You then take ships that you have acquired, and then you send them out on missions as well. So you have 2 of them, and that's a little overbearing of a system, because even though it doesn't take too long to send out your DOFs, it doesn't take too long to send out your ships. In the beginning, you'll log in and then spend about 10-15 minutes just like doing
Right.
what feels like paperwork of an admiral.
Sure.
So I said that actually it does make you feel like an admiral because it makes you feel like you're sitting at your desk doing paperwork.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, right. It's like it totally makes you feel like an admiral over a captain because it just gives you a lot of busy work as soon as you log in.
I mean, that's the life of an admiral.
So with all these different systems, they basically all boil down to the same thing. It's set something up, come back, and get rewards.
The power relay. Our enemy could
I would say the difference, I mean, maybe, I don't know about the other systems. The difference in this one would be more or less that they can actively affect your character's power when you slot them for their
in other
passive.
games as well. They're in. I'm not sure never. But at least in Star Trek Online, you could also slot your DOFs into your character. So that is a thing that they do there as well. So that's actually kind of almost a common thing as well.
I don't
to
play
have them
the ones to be
to have them
able to
add a little bit to your character.
But I will say 10% damage versus something specific is pretty high.
And I've seen them in Stowe that are the same way. It'd be like damage boost to the Borg or something, you know, with this one specific dot.
Gotcha.
I got
so if we were going to do it, it's behind us. Oh wait.
Oh, you didn't get the last one? Did you not get the one from killing the succubus?
I guess not. And I can't get it. Oh well.
Wait, you have to be able to get it. If it's there, it's clickable unless you already. Are you sure you didn't already pick it up?
I may have.
Yeah, if it's not clickable for you, then you.
Nah, I must have got it.
Got it.
I just turned around. And I was like, wait, there's one over there and here.
They get you coming and going.
I'm just clicking on them without thinking much.
So yeah, I think honestly, like, I always liked, even before the cult defense, I liked the agents and the fact you could slot, you know, have up to 3 of them slotted for passives and that mixing and matching, you know, different things.
And to give you a little more power, to give you just a little bit of extra power, and that little bit of extra customizability.
But I think the jump into cult defense with the agents giving massive bonus for specific types, and then the agent switcher mod, which actually lets you make really good use of, is where like it got like another level of depth for me, you know.
Which is also that's kind of reminiscent of TSW when they had the
Aegis switcher mod. That's
the Aegis switcher. Yeah.
Yeah. You were like, okay, like now I can play. And
that's right. Yeah. Now I don't have to do the secondary game too much, and yeah.
Oh, so when he casts Ember, when he casts the solar collapse, make sure you look at the sky for the stream.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't even think you have to move for this one because yeah, you don't get reticles before E5.
Take that.
You weren't looking at the sky, Ember. Damn it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we might die. Oh no, we're okay. The fire was in the center. I was really concerned. Yeah, when he does the big circles on the ground, right, the big red circles on the ground, that's when you look up at the sky.
I thought my game crashed for a second there.
Oh, the cinematic kicked in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Presented by demons.
So there should be a legend somewhere if you guys haven't done this. Why is Warhammer not showing me that? It's not showing me the one. There's also this crystals over here if you want it.
Wait, my game did crash.
Oh, did it really?
What defines mankind? If not the need to commit
Hurry back.
great
It did. I canceled out the cinematic, and it just was like, oh,
That's why I'm letting it run.
That's what you get for canceling.
Yeah, that's what I get for not watching it all the way through.
Yeah, see
That's
what happens when you
good
get
stuff.
impatient?
You should watch. Be patient. So, okay. So when it comes to the agent system, my thought is, and it's of what I've seen before and what I've seen in other games and whatnot, that usually they make it systematic, and usually the systems are more like the more you play, not necessarily how much you've progressed in the game itself. They're more like the more you play, the more rewarding they get. So it's more based on like a time perspective. Secret World, however, they're based on a
Never come back to this place.
progress,
Tell them that you
I would
saw
say,
the
or
hell
a
dimensions were lost
Well, because you
in the
level the
game.
agents themselves.
Tell them that wicked
well, not
agents
level the
are
agents themselves, but collecting them, you need to do a lot of content in order to even acquire them.
my kin.
I mean,
Do not
yes and
come
no.
before me,
Someone
captive.
has to do the content.
Raise your proud and terrible heads.
You can also
Well,
buy
someone has to, yes.
Yeah.
Let's say someone like me, like I don't necessarily run dungeons a lot.
Where
Dungeons are
angels
like one of the
fear to
prime sources
tread,
of them,
and
right?
Well, okay, so
cautionary tale.
yes and no. I'm gonna, and the reason I'm gonna say that is because certain agents drop from the dungeons. Certain agents drop from the layers regional chests.
Okay, yes. And certain of them drop from the quests in.
Yeah, they're actually a lot of them are specific. Like there's some generic ones that kind of can drop from just about anywhere, but there's a lot of them that are like, okay, this guy can drop from, Egypt and Transylvania. This guy can drop from Kaiden in South Africa. This guy can drop from Solomon Island and Egypt. Like there's a spreadsheet that has them listed. The more exclusive ones, like the 7% plus damage to your main weapon ones, the rare ones drop from the dungeon chests, and some of them drop from the regional chests. But they're very specific. But the occult defense ones all drop from occult defense, and the drop rate from occult defense is a lot higher. So like you can go in the auction house right now and look for like an agent dossier, right?
Yeah,
Sort by
as
price.
you were saying once, is that a good place to get them because they have such a low drop rate, like in the world. I mean, they do have a higher one when it comes to scenarios, but when it comes to the world
They do
itself,
right now for 250 marks. 250 marks for an agent.
right, getting them
And
off the auction house is probably your best bet.
Oh, you crashed out of the dungeon. Does that mean you came back online? Yeah.
Oh, I'm back in.
Yeah, but you crashed out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
It kicked
You
or
left the
something.
group. You were kicked.
Oh no, I just left. I just went through the portal.
Oh.
Oh, really? I just didn't see you? I was looking on the spreadsheet.
Yes.
I thought I kicked you. Did you pick up the crystal?
I did.
Oh no! Wait.
God!
Ah. Wait, can I join on you? Wait.
Wait, I'm
No.
still in.
That's not how it works. Dungeon groups are separate.
I'm gonna try it anyway.
Can't do it. That's me. This is one thing I helped Tron when he was doing dungeon group stuff, like fixing some of the stuff that was broken. I know a little bit about how that works.
Dang. Oh well.
But
the crystal's on every one of them, right?
yeah, but you need all three. But what I was gonna say was, since you guys don't have that, we could group up and do the story ones really fast and just get you the crystals. You know, because it would be a legend that you guys don't have.
That is true.
And if you do story mode, you get to pick, right? You get to pick that, and there's no elite version of Hellfallen. So we'll do we have to do Hellfallen story mode. Because there's no other way to do it.
This time I'll make sure to actually get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
we'll do Hellfallen, and then we can do the other two.
so
But
someone
so-
like me.
So here's the other thing I would say really quick about getting them from the auction house is someone might be like, well, those aren't the ones I want, or it's not for the weapon I have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? There's a legend back here, by the way. like behind the gate.
That's a tricksy one.
I got load in.
Well-
Not, yeah.
But what I would say is there's actually a fair amount of stuff that requires you to have a number of agents, right? Like unlocking the second passive slot, you need like 10 agents leveled to 50. You know,
Right,
Unlocking
yeah.
the third passive slot, you need 20 agents leveled to 50. So now you're not going to use 20 agents. You know what I mean? Like realistically, except for maybe the occult defense ones, honestly, because they're per type. But I mean, you kind of just need like a horde of agents just to unlock the passive slots.
So you might as well
So-
just get whatever ones you
Get
can,
the cheapest ones you
really.
can, fill out your roster, and level them because it's not going to hurt. It's going to be useful. That would be my tip for the agents: is don't freak out that like, oh, I don't have like I'm what is your main weapon? Are you shotgun?
Shotgun, yes.
If you're shotgun main, don't freak out that you don't have like the shotgun plus 7% damage one, like, or worry about that. Just grab agents.
Just grab whatever
grab
one you
agents
can,
and
yeah.
run them. Yeah, run them, level them.
Yeah, it doesn't
because-
doesn't matter if it's not the exact weapon. It's okay.
Yeah, you want to fill out your roster so that you can unlock those other achievements.
It will come with time.
Exactly.
Or the achievements are really more rewarding necessarily than the individual one.
Ember, are you still logging in?
I'm still loading.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, take your time.
Did you crash?
I have no idea. I just got to the end of the bar.
Okay.
So no, at least when I've been crashing, like the full game just goes straight to desktop. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the common crash. But basically what I'm getting at is that these other games there you are, Ember, is that these other games tend to make it
Yay.
rewarding kind of no matter where you are in the story or where you are in your gear or where you are in your whatever. It's just more like progressing in the system itself.
Gotcha.
And I feel like with Secret World, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more based on your actual progression in the game relative to that.
I mean, they do drop. I guess the dungeon I wouldn't say is like whatever because it's E1 is where everyone farms them anyways, right? So that's not really tied to your progression. As long as you can level 50, like you can grind for them, you know.
Right.
So that's kind of a non-issue. It might be harder to find, a little bit harder for the regional ones maybe. You know, you have to find like someone doing regional group or I mean I don't know. I feel like layers. I guess it's if group content is not your thing, it's probably a bigger problem, right? Because some of it does.
Yeah, is I think one of my biggest holdback because I have a grand total and I haven't bought any from the auction house, but I have a grand total of 6.
Yeah.
And also the agent system started after I completed like all the content.
Yeah, it is much better and more useful for newer players for sure. Because once you unlock it, they start bringing you disciplines at that time that you can actually use, and it makes your gear upgrade like faster.
Right.
Like your power level actually is higher than it would have been had you started a character pre the agent system. So it definitely
yeah.
was one of those things that was like a lot of people that were end game were like, "Wow, what? This is crap." Blah blah blah. And it's like, no, it's a great from the beginning.
From
you
the
know?
beginning, yeah.
It's a little bit rough to go back and like farm it, right? That feels weird or just kind of non-rewarding, I guess, because you know the stuff they bring back is like useless to someone that's you know, end game level. Like, you know, all the crap they're gonna bring back before. I mean, honestly, even the stuff they bring back in tier 5 really isn't worth much. But it's worth something to you if you're just like leveling in the game, you know. So it's a good system if you just started with it. So any new players out there, learn to love the agent system. It's gonna make your life better.
And that's what I feel too. I feel like I'd be a little more attached to it if I was if I basically had so much more of a run up to it.
Yeah. No, I feel you there.
And so right now it's like, well, I could go repeat all the content to try to get the ones. Like I can just go back and
What?
Overflow.
Overflow.
Dang it! Give me a second. I need to throw some of these discs.
You can start upgrading that headpiece you got.
I can indeed.
That shiny new headpiece.
It is quite the sexy. Get in there, 1 pips.
So cool.
Yeah, I feel like the range of agents, and I feel like the 10% damage to types is like kind of more impactful. You just feel like it's, and then like I said, it does, I think, really necessitate the use of the mod to get the most benefit out of it. But again, it just feels like that's kind of a good thing. That's another layer of
kind
complexity.
of a good thing. Yeah.
And then I don't know if some people know that. I mean, I'm sure people know the agent switcher mod exists, but what's really interesting is it can do proximity switching, and it has like almost like it has like a rule set, right? Where you can specify like, hey, on this boss name, because it detects like the name, switch to this. And it's got different ones in it. So like, for example, your Darkness War, right? On boss 2, the Hound's a Filth Hound, right? But the ads are technically human. But you don't want to have your agent set to human when you start the fight, because those guys are gone in like, a few seconds, and now you're fighting the filth creature.
Right.
So it comes built in with the rule set to like, after the main battle mage you fight in the beginning, switch to filth, and don't switch away. Right? It has rule sets so you can deal with stuff like that, because when you're in combat you can't switch agents. Right? Like that's it's kind of like switching gear. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice standard rule. Yeah.
So, but the mod is versatile enough to like, let you set things like, so in occult defense, like you don't switch, like when deathless spawn familiars, right? You can set a rule so that, hey, stay on deathless. Don't try and switch to familiars, because in occult defense you come in and out of combat a fair bit, and so you could end up being stuck on the wrong agent potentially. But you can set the rule sets for it. So I don't know. It's an interesting like additional level, I guess. And I think it's really cool that that's a thing.
No, I think that the level itself of the use of the agents is fairly deep. For when you have enough agents that becomes, a real thing.
Sure. Yeah, it does take a while to get there, no question. But it's something that you can get towards, and it does feel rewarding when you get there. You're like, hey,
You're
this
like,
is
yes.
actually making...
Be like, yes, I've got 20 some odd agents, and they're all level 50, and it took them this long to get up there, and they actually are giving me a nice reward for it. So when you get up there, yes, you do get a nice.
That's what she said.
But I think that like let's say for like other systems that I've tried,
However, geography has conspired to place
they are
you
not
between
exactly
Hammer and Anvil.
that rewarding. Like they're
Hold this ground
rewarding.
against
They
the
make you
siege,
kind of want to
and I
log
shall
in and
work
get
against
the
hydraulics.
thing, get the stuff, but they're not like really game changing. I want to say, like okay. Star Trek Online is one that I use because they, like I said, they have 2 separate systems that they use in the same exact the same exact system, and it's just, you know, more so it's just you grinding them out. Where are those guys going? Get back.
I have no idea. I know this one bugs out really easily, so I'm waiting. If you kill things too close to the gate, it gets stuck and won't progress phases. So that's why I'm being careful. I know about this. I've done it a lot.
So we're sticking by you. So
like, the only way to kill yourself, by the way, if that happens, is you have to go stand in these fire pits and wait for yourself to die. It's really annoying.
Handy. The fire pits are around.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Like, you need to kill yourself. But we have something right here where you can do that.
It's like a suicide booth.
Nice.
Oh, but what was I saying? So the main thing that you get from like Star Trek Online is levels.
Okay.
So I remember they had a. I was kind of all excited. They had they're like, we're raising the level cap by an extra 5 levels for, you know, this new content we're putting in, and I was like, awesome. And I went on and took all the duty officer
duty,
like went in and submitted them all, and like went and did all the duty officers and submitted them all, and then did the admiralty system and submitted all of them, and by the end of doing that, I'd already leveled up from the top level. Those extra 5 levels that they'd thrown on, I was already at max level again. So they added 5 levels to the game, but it took exactly 5 seconds to get through them all.
Like that? Like killing this person?
Yes, just like that. I was like I was all excited because the last time they raised the level cap, it was like, it was like a whole new content. It took you almost like a month to level up that much, and so those extra 10 levels really felt like they were worth something. And the extra 5 levels they thrown on felt like absolute nothing. It felt like it was just a waste of time. And it was like, well, there we go, leveled up again. All right, well, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like they're kind of like their own thing, but also they do give you as far as your character upgrades, you can get the platinum weapon skins as well as the sprint here. This is one of the sprints you get from the
well, that's basically what I'm saying, is that the rewards for getting up to the upper tiers of this level of Secret Worlds seems to be a little more rewarding.
That said, it can be really annoying to open a vanity bag and it's like, oh, I was gonna give you a platinum weapon skin, but you have them all, so here, have 1,000 shards instead.
Right,
yeah, that's what's worth.
1,000 shards.
That's only 1,000 shards. Yeah,
we'll take a flare. You'll enjoy it.
A flare.
If they gave me a Krampus rocket, I wouldn't be so mad. Alright, lava golems. Do this.
Fight fire with fire.
So would I say that, you know, Secret World is like where I would put it as far as ranking, as far as the
defenses are lowered. You are
like which is my favorite iteration of the system? See, I would actually say, like, I really like Neverwinter's, which is weird to say because the game itself is actually not that great.
Yeah, I played it it was a couple years ago, and it was just
Join me above quickly. A power
it wasn't too great.
It's based off of D&D, but it's like not.
It's the generic version.
It's very generic. And then it gets really silly really quickly. I mean, Secret World is silly. I mean, let's not, you know.
What? How dare you?
You can do some. Like, you could do some silly things in Secret World. And Neverwinter turned very silly very quickly too. I think my mount in Neverwinter is just a gelatinous cube.
That's pretty awesome.
And it is fairly awesome because the character rides inside of the gelatinous cube.
That's even better.
Right. See, so it's like, all right. So, you know, it's like they couldn't really laugh at them. And yeah, once I saw that as a mount, I was like, well, no, I have to get that.
Well,
Of course, I know I have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it is the best mount because like your character stands there like legs and arms are completely like full spread eagle, and you're just being carried by a gelatinous cube.
It's pretty amazing.
So, but the game itself is. Where are we going?
Hide.
I'll be back
Pick
here.
a side. Doesn't matter.
Protect yourselves.
Ember, are you on what side are you on?
I'm on the right side, where the where you come in at.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
right in front of me.
Come up to where I am. Come up to where I am.
Assassins, earn your
Like,
place
don't
atop
go
the
fight
nine
anything yet.
houses.
Let's see.
Bring me the one in White's head.
Okay. Wait, we do need to kill these guys. But I think if you don't attack the big guy, we'll be. All right, come over this way. Don't attack the guy.
Never send killers to do a soldier's errand.
Pretty sure.
Power, you demon.
Oh, there's Lord.
Yeah, watch. But yeah, there's the lore. Normally don't get to it at the end, but check it out. You can watch the epic power struggle as the energy ball goes back and forth between the two of them.
The agony is
It goes one way, and Wicker seems to be winning a little bit, and then
Go Wicker.
Yeah, it's
Then
that's
not.
Eblis up there. The quote,
Oh.
the enemy. That is confirmed.
Idris Elba. Not quite.
But yeah, I just thought it was funny that like if you're over here, like he doesn't aggro you until you attack him, so you can come over here and like just stay on the side and watch that, because like you never really get to see. You know what I mean? Like not from the side, anyways. You like see his like shield and the little energy ball going back.
They do put in quite a bit that you don't normally see,
yeah,
unless you're like really looking for it.
it's like classic wizard battle, you know, like stuff. It's pretty great. Also, his like shield thing is pretty cool.
I was like, we can just walk around this guy, but
Yeah, that's like Wicker is pretty badass.
Well, he's got no heart, so.
Yeah, right. All right, ready? Let's kill this guy.
all right.
Protect yourselves. When we cross each other again, your city will lie in dust.
It's like look, the sandstorm like went that way. Did you see it?
Yeah, it went off to the left.
Sandstorm changed direction.
It was like,
Sandstorm was like, I'm gonna come at you. No, I'm good. I'll just go over here. Don't mind me.
Martyrdom. But
It's like, oh, we need some sand over here.
forgive them.
Protect yourselves from. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about it.
They are
So there should
Had a
be
change of heart.
another legend.
children,
This is, I don't have it set to show me.
grown spiteful with longing
So,
for what they cannot
but
possess.
overall,
They
trigger-
my thought of the agent system is sort of like, it's
They are summoned.
unless you're a more dedicated character, it's kind of hard to get into.
Yeah, I mean, I will say after the fact, true. But I think if you encountered it from the beginning of your character,
I
you would-
might be more into it. Yeah.
Yeah, because for one, it starts you with 2 agents. Like you get the main one, and then you do your initial like training mission, and then like you get the second agent like right away. That was something that wasn't there at launch, but it was there pretty quickly after, like a couple of weeks or something. So that, like they gave you 2 agents to play with. You got Lydia Darling, like straight away.
Yes, yeah.
Which is actually a really good one to
She's
to
a good
run.
one. Yeah.
325 attack rating, and I'm running that on 1IP man, like for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
It's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah.
and that's at level 25. Never mind getting a level 50 and getting the 300 crit power. So I mean, yeah, I think that was a much clearer indication than the faction recruit to players. You know, oh hey, this is worth paying attention to.
Now this rebellion threatens.
I was like, but my other kind of more like a wish for the agent system, that if I wished anything of it, it's that I wish the UI was just a little bit better. Like there are chained missions,
Mm-hmm.
and the chained missions are like, and again, like the lore in this game, they're all fairly well written. Like
It would
there's
be
a
nice
lot of
to,
good a lot of good writing.
have an agent journal and like have those collected.
Right, or even just like to tell you at what part of the chain you've already completed or what part of the chain you're already done, so you know which ones to look for. And and I'm fine with finding them kind of by accident or finding them by experimentation. Like I'm okay with that. I would just like it to be just a little more, to give a little more detail as far as where you are and where your progress is in the system, to at least give you a little more push into going further.
Yeah,
Would be a good way to put it.
I hear you. Like personally, like I think what would make a huge difference is giving them giving the agent network system, like it has an agents tab and a missions tab, right? It should honestly have like a stories tab, or maybe it could go under legends even technically.
It could go under, or it can go under lore. It could go under
Yeah, that's what legends. Is.
Legends lore. Yeah.
So, but I mean,
the eternal struggle.
So that would make, to me, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know that they're never, like, it's like Legends, right? They tell you which ones you're missing, but they don't tell you, like, how to get them. So I don't know if I see them, given Secret World's sort of investigative, I don't know if I see them telling you, like, this is how you get a certain one.
Right,
but
right.
I definitely agree, like, I shouldn't have to wait for, like, Dante's Chain, like, 9 to pop up again to reread the story. Like, you should let me, if I've completed the mission, unlock that piece of text someplace I can go read the whole chain in a row.
Right, and it doesn't have to be like all of them, but it's the chained ones, the chained missions,
sure.
the ones that are obviously the most important missions,
Yeah.
Like I feel like they should have like, and there should be a little more, like just tracking where you are in the system,
because
or tracking
then,
where
If it was Dante's, right, like you would know because you'd look at the story and be like, oh, Dante's 1 through 6. I don't care about 1 through 6 now. I'm only looking to run Dante 7. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You at least give you that idea of like, fuck, what was the last one I did? Do I actually need to run Dante's 5, or did I complete that one already? So yeah,
and I mean, I'm
agree.
pretty big on the spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet sort of guy. So I have my spreadsheets, and I've got my whatever for all the games I play, and it's just an easy way just to be like, where am I in this? Oh, that's right, that's where I am in this. And so I have one for the agent system, and so I kind of have a good idea of where I am, but it's still not perfect. Like,
if anyone wants to check out that spreadsheet, that's it's got the agents breakdown of like their traits. Where you get them from.
I used to have this linked up as a like a quick link in Twitch.
Like it's got all the things, right? But then it also has a gear tab. It's got a mission tab. It's got an urgent.
It's more
tab.
of a that's a nice resource.
Yeah. So like if you go to the missions tab,
through this,
it'll tell you like the missions tiers, the tiered ones, and where you can expect to find them, what they're called, what tiers they show up in, what the progression order is, etc. Like,
and I mean, I know we could also go on to like to like another website. You can go to TSWDB and find the story as well, and you can find.
But that's not the same. I do agree. It should
it's
have
not the same
in-game interface of some. Did you guys both grab the crystal?
I did. Yes, I got it this time.
Yay!
Now you can exit.
So, I don't know. Like, I 100% agree. Like, the chain stories should have like sort of like a Legends unlock that you can see because it's awesome to reread those internally.
Yeah, because this game is about the stories. This game is about the stories. This game is about the little tiny details and
especially with like
that kind of locks them out from that. It's kind of
right. Dark Agartha's intro is in the tiers.
Yeah. Right, yeah. They kind of they released.
That was first.
They released the agents, the Don Quixote, right?
Geronimo.
I can't think of what his name is. Geronimo. But kind of like a Don Quixote sort of character, and
stop moving, Ember. God damn
it. Need to join you up in a group.
Yeah, let me do it.
But all that was kind of detailed up until the release of Dark Agartha, and I think that was missed by a lot of people.
Geronimo de Montoya. Yeah, he well, because also they didn't even unlock his later tiers until Dark Arthur got closer. Like he was in there, and you could do the first few tiers of his mission, I think, into like maybe tier, I don't know, 3 or 4. But like they didn't even unlock his other ones, and there was actually kind of a bug with it, where they had to go back and fix it because if you had gotten further, once they unlocked the other ones, they weren't registering. Like you had to redo them for them to. That was kind of annoying.
Okay.
But like when they added the later ones in, like close to Dark Agartha's release, they added in the later ones to actually talk about Dark Agartha, like specifically, like the Into Dark Agartha one. And if you had done the prerequisite to it, it didn't count when they added those. You had to redo the prereqs. So it kind of screwed up your whole order. I think they did bug fix that at some point. There was a patch for it. Let's just do story mode, Hell Raised. Get the first crystal.
So that's my thoughts on the agent system. Is that I think it's an okay system. Yeah, the fact that it's easier for newer players to get into than to people to jump back into it. That's a little, but that's whatever. I mean, because I could just go and do all the stuff and wait for the drops. I mean,
So it does feel more natural when you're completing everything in the game, and every mission you do from like Savage Coast on has a small chance to drop.
Right. Instead of just repeating a mission that has a tiny chance.
And repeating hundreds of missions, like, yeah.
And I feel like the system should kind of have a... I mean, I know that they drop pretty much as they want them to. What are we doing in here? I mean, it's a nice room.
There was a legend. You didn't...
Oh, I've already got it. I've already
got it, yeah.
Just checking. Making sure.
I should turn on my my lore hound to tell me.
Sweet deliverance. You have
There's
come.
also one here.
Help us.
Yep.
Please deliver us from our enemies. Time is running out.
So right, so it feels more natural for new characters, but I feel like when they implemented it, that a lot of people weren't necessarily new characters. Also, I feel like the system should have a sort of... Yeah, I may have gotten all these. But the system should have a sort of, a small chance to get something. But if you do not succeed, if you do not get it, then maybe your next chance would be a little higher.
All I could do for the... By the way, do you guys have this one?
Nope, I don't.
Like a sort of fail mechanic.
Yeah, they have that for the caches, but I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly don't for the agents.
No, they do not.
Your life, your sweet, virginal life. It is
for something that is RNG, I feel like, for games that have a lot of RNG is... We know, it can swing. It can swing both ways pretty far.
Ooh, a blue chest.
It is blue.
I don't think it matters in the story, though. But whatever. Do it anyways.
All of them are extraordinary.
There's a legend.
No.
If you don't have it.
No, I don't see it.
Yeah, I didn't get anything too great from that.
You guys have this one?
Nope.
Yes. Thankfully, because I can't get it.
Because you walked through the screen?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I would say that those are my general, if I would comment about Star Trek Online, I would be like, there's too much. There's just way too dang much. You spend way too much time. This one you don't. You don't spend a whole...
Yeah, not really. You guys have the two that are up on top of the cog reels? There's like one way up there,
yeah.
And one up on this one.
Yeah, I've got them.
Don't expect safe footing. In the heat of the slide pit, the foundry brute is king.
So it's good on that front. It's not too long. It doesn't take up too much of your time because it really shouldn't. It really.
Sorry.
What? Yeah.
It's not too long. Doesn't take
It's
us.
not too long. It doesn't take up too much of your time. Dang you!
I regret nothing. You guys get the one back here?
Yep, not there.
Okay.
Yep. So
What about this?
like I feel like it could be a lot worse. Is a way to put it. Like
Yeah.
it could be. So I wouldn't put it as the worst system I've ever seen. But I wouldn't put it as the best system I've ever seen. But in order to be the best, it would have to have like its own website. It would have to have its own whatever.
Yeah,
It'd have to have stuff that it's like, there's no way. There's no way.
I think if it had like a
would
mobile
ever.
app, it would be pretty rocking, honestly. 'Cause
Right.
Then also,
and-
you'd be able to read that stuff. I think a little more.
But that's exactly what Neverwinter had. Neverwinter had like, you just got it on your cell phone. You could just bring it up on a website and you could do it wherever.
Before the demon army
And so it didn't even need an app. It was just website based.
all Wicker has done.
Yeah. I mean, in today's day and age, if they could do it, it'd probably be an app.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah,
got
and it
the
would
the
be,
Beast Legendary
You know,
app.
Once.
it would be awesome, but they wouldn't just make an app just for that. They'd have to make an app for like a whole bunch of other
But
stuff.
it was left to rot in the fire of past house planters.
Yeah.
I feel like just making an app just for that is kind of a waste of developing an app.
No, that makes developing an app way easier. So there's one here, and then there's one like way back here, somewhere. Yeah.
Like if you're gonna make an app, you want to throw in a lot more than just the agent system. You'd want to throw in like the auction house, and you want to throw in.
You're a crazy person. Those are completely different things.
I know, but they make them all part of the same secret world app.
No. No. I'm telling you, as an app developer, go to hell.
Well, it's
Talking
easy.
about completely different entities to interact with and deal with. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool, but I'm also
Right.
saying like you could totally do one without the other, and yes, it would be a lot easier to just do one. and not
Yes,
both.
and that's I'm saying like if they would take the time to do one, they might as well take the time to do both.
Heart. Nuclear mistress. This one.
Haha.
to create
No
the
phases for
source of
you.
union.
Nope. Phaseless.
Hey, have you guys seen like it's Ember's streaming like right here? Like, do you have the mining helmet?
Do
Yeah, there's text there.
I do not have the helmet. Wait,
Like the mining lamp there. See
King's
if I can
Return?
light it for you. Yeah. Just thought it was cool.
King's Return.
It's like an interesting little.
And King specifically, like King owns the return. It's apostrophe S.
Yeah, King's Return.
Like this is like a location name. This is King's Return.
I don't know. I just always thought it was interesting. There's like this hidden like kind of like
Yeah, you wouldn't really see that.
script in blood there. It's supposed to be a reference to something. I forget exactly what now, but like I don't know. It's just cool. It's one of those things that after a billion times running a dungeon, you're like, hey, what is this?
Yeah, I've never seen this before. Which is cool. Like I said, they put in a lot of those little tiny little details
Your
in
world
this
is bleeding.
that you just pass right on by.
Anima.
Oh yeah.
This war machine is its vampire. Protected by the portal's power. Separate them. Kill it.
Yay.
That was 2 shots for your 2 heads.
Mm-hmm.
Be our savior.
So anyway, that's my thoughts on the agent system, and so I like it.
I mean, there's always room for improvement, right?
Oh yeah, I
don't
mean, it's
know.
it's a nice system.
But
that
also,
brought in a whole different way of playing the game.
Your princess.
right, it added a little more detail, added more depth, it added more.
Yeah.
More
That
to
is
do.
something. Honestly, it's still something else to do. Like, there's actually literally a reason to log in if you have nothing else to do.
But emotion is.
Like, most people aren't done with leveling their agents.
We are
You
not
know what I
the same
mean? It's
species,
something
you
to
and
do.
I have no nostalgia for Earth.
Like, even if that's all you log in to do and you
I
log
cancel
out,
it
like
out.
you do it. You know what I mean? Like
My
you grab
body
your daily key,
Do you know?
You have your daily cash key.
Get your daily cash key.
And
Hold
then
on
you
to it. Hoard
yeah,
it.
hoard that, and then you know,
Psychopathy
you
is a quite
you send your agents out. It's a thing to do.
But at the same time, like, but I think these systems overall, these systems aren't. They don't really make me want to play a game. Like login systems,
Yeah, I know.
which is what it is. They're not exactly like, you know, the be all. They're not enough to make me want to play a game. To bring me back into something to be like, oh, well, I have to log in order to do this. And maybe during a special event, I might be like, okay, no, I have to log in to get the special event thing.
Right.
But the agent system itself is more like it's a nice little reward for logging in. It's a nice little reward for as a system, but it's not. They're not enough to actually make me want to play
Sure, I get that.
by themselves. So I'm not really a giant fan of those systems in general.
On a beach of razor fossils. The vultures
But they do add a little bit. They do add a little bit. They're like a cherry on top.
fabulous
Sure.
instrument.
And there's nothing wrong with that cherry on top.
Call me
You guys
something.
grab this crystal? You're still in the cinematic. You're still in the cinematic. How long?
Still in
is it?
cinematic.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to. I don't
yeah.
want to.
You don't want
Cause
to
a
break
crash.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I do this like when I'm streaming. I watch all the cinematics, but like when I'm just like running around by myself, I kind of skip them. Especially when you're doing like lots of dungeon runs, right? Like no one wants to wait
Yeah.
for you to be done watching the cinematic for the 100th time. It's like waiting for me to deal with my inventory. They're like, God damn it, Jimmy. Get inventory space already. I'm kind of waiting for you.
You're like, no, it's my own
Never.
version of Tetris. I'm dealing with it.
New high score. So yeah. So we have one more to wait, we have one more to go. I think Ember should have gotten the legend actually.
One more.
Yeah, I did.
Ember should have gotten it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we need one more for
One more. One more for me.
Now do we want to try and do so that one we can do on E1. Do we want to do we want to see if we can get it to pop for an E1, or do we want to just do story and make sure we get it? It's up to you.
I'm fine with story. And just make sure we get it.
And also will be slightly faster.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's not that E1 it like I'm pretty much burst through E1 as well, but story is even
Even
more
faster.
ridiculous. Yeah. Basically E15 IP level in story is like
It's like
Pretty-
it's like having an IP level 1 scaled, or an Empower 1 scaled boss, which is what we're hoping for.
right? That would be hilarious. Actually, you know what's funny is that the whole thing is actually Squirrelpool's fault.
Is it? Okay.
Squirrelpool is another streamer. He streams.
He's
Legends.
another streamer, yeah.
Yeah, he streams Hero Legends. I think usually. I think he had some internet issues recently, but I think Wednesdays are his Secret World stream days. And sometimes other days. But he was streaming Tank Commander, and he's the one that on stream like broke his keyboard. So mad at it.
Don't blame him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like other people have raged in other ways. Some people have straight up deleted their peculiar box.
Ooh, blue box.
Like they got the peculiar box, they got really mad at the fight and just deleted the box. Like, nope, not doing that. Which I wouldn't do, but whatever.
I feel like dang it. Inventory. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Oh, hey, this is
I
a
feel like to
drop
some extent.
lore.
Ooh.
It's dropped from these guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I see that lore. Didn't pick it up last time.
No, it wasn't there. Like it's a drop.
Yeah.
It drops from them randomly. Same with the Jinn in here. The Jinn in here can drop a lore or a legend, what have you.
Oh, I gotta spend some skill points.
Oh, someone capped out.
Yeah.
So
There you go. Combine. Okay.
So anyways, yeah, so Scropool, you know, really disliked the tank commander. I mean, I would give it to him though. Like he did beat it eventually,
Right.
and then like he was like, as much as troubles it gave him, he like bought extra keyboards for the next round. Like, he's still not one of those. There's some people are like, oh, it needs to be changed, blah blah. He's like, no, like, it's a hard fight.
Yeah.
Like, screw that guy, but it's still fun. Like it's as intended, right? Like, so he was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna do it again to get the next museum piece I need.
He's like, no, it's hard, but it's supposed to be hard.
Yeah. He didn't like, he wasn't hating on the fact that they existed, just that it was, incredibly frustrating for him personally. So he came in the stream at some point, and we were chatting, and he was like, you should do, I think it was maybe after like my 0 item powered Dark Agartha E5.
Okay.
Because that's something normal people do.
Why not? Yeah.
So he was like, oh, you should do, the tank commander, so you can just smack him around, right? Because he's auto scaled. Do him at 0 IP. I'm like, you can't. It's highest recorded. Like, you can't like kick off your gear. It's not gonna matter,
Right.
And it's like, well, what if you just did the game like without item power, and then so you got to him like that? And I was like, I don't know that you can do that, or that you can even get out of like the tutorial like that. And then Leo Grim did some like research, and I confirmed, like, you get 1 IP in the tutorial, and I was like, well, now we're talking. Now we have something. Because I'm pretty sure bare minimum I could like sustain tank even if it took forever, content. You know what I mean? Like, I can do the whole Hammer Chaos sustain build, and just all the fights could take hours. But, I could eventually do all the content in the game. Turns
That
out
one dude there
that's...
was the hardest guy in this dungeon, by the way.
Yeah, it's because he got his shield cast off. Let's kill all these Jinn and see if they drop one of the legends.
Not just for your sake. Too many profound creatures
Oh,
have already
yep,
been
They
lost.
did.
Sweet. How fortuitous.
Perfect run. See, we came back for a reason, and it wasn't just because I just ditched out early.
It's okay. I legit thought you had crashed. You should have just went with that.
I should have
Yeah,
just
just
went
to
with
say
that.
Totally crashed.
No, I gotta be honest. That's
We think we figured out at one point, I think in TSW, that these guys dropped something, but it was really dumb. They're like not supposed to be something you kill. Their HP is way too high. They're supposed to be. It's kind of like sabotage missions, like in zones that are like level 12, and it's like a level 50 because you're supposed to not get attacked by them.
right.
But I think they actually dropped something in TSW.
Like they're a sub boss, basically.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to. It took even like really geared. It took a lot to kill them in TSW.
The power
But
our enemy
I think in Legends it just dropped like
melodramatic advantage.
the chests. Uh oh. We got pinched. Run. That was a bad pull. It's okay. She's gonna chase me.
It's all right. We survived.
I barely got out of that.
Well done, Ember.
I saw the ring coming towards me. I'm like, nope.
So yeah, anything else that I that we wanted to talk about tonight? Oh no, don't tell me. Yep.
Why?
Where am I going?
Where you
On screen, I'm running away.
going? Where are you going?
Wow, you're running far.
Bye, guys.
We shall meet at the summit.
Hopefully you get back in again. Did you update your drivers?
I did not. Well, yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
Because I never really had too much issue with it. Tonight I'm having like more issue than I think I've ever had.
That was a
Because you're
lucky-
doing a dungeon?
Yeah.
You don't do dungeons.
That's what it comes down to. What am I doing?
All of a
Hanging
sudden,
out
you just
there.
start running. I'm like, where you
Well,
go?
you're probably technically still running. You just ran
Probably.
into a wall.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't drop down here.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
How did you not drop
Yeah. How did you do that?
this invisible?
Well, I'm not gonna try it. Oh,
No. Nope. It's not, I don't know how the hell you got over there. I'm gonna die down here now. Help!
Because I just ran.
No
I just ran in a
regrets.
straight line. Really, is what happened.
No, I know, but like how your character didn't.
I think this.
Oh, I wonder if you ran up the ledge. You must have ran up the ledge at a little bit of an angle or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just enough.
You know what I mean? Because if you ran right over that pit, you would have fallen in. You must have just been like on the edge of this thing.
Yeah, when you get back in, don't back up.
Yeah, right. Don't look.
Don't look behind
Don't look
you.
down. Don't look behind you. Don't look anywhere.
Well, who knows where I'm actually gonna spawn?
Well, no, you should stay in the same place.
Well, but from where I crashed,
Yeah, when you
would have been
logged back
different.
in.
I didn't start running. It just saw
No,
me
I'm
going
saying-
forward. It just kept going forward.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you log in, you're gonna be here where we see you. I think. Oh, no, where did you go?
Nope, at the bottom of the steps.
Oh, really? I did not think that would happen. Okay. So it made it, the server corrected itself. It's like, oh no, never mind. You're back here. That's crazy.
Which, considering that I crashed like in the middle of the boss fight,
That's a little interesting. I honestly didn't expect that.
I didn't expect seeing myself on screen just running.
Results.
See that? I know that's like server prediction, right there.
It was
Server
like,
prediction.
all right, guys, see ya. No, I'm
Unable to
out.
resist an invitation to your own autopsy.
All right, I'm gonna pull him to the side, so the solar collapse happens on one of the sides, and then Ember, when he
Look
does
up.
his thing where he like T poses and does the red circles, just make sure you look way up. At the
Right, right. We get another chance to look at the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just like don't shoot him. I'll just wing him with like seeking bow or something, and then run to the side. Angel gets its black wings.
On his little cloud.
Come on, T-pose.
There now. Okay, now look up.
Looking up.
See it?
That's very
Yeah. Look at the beams. Beams of light. I mean, you could look a little bit down. You can see
You
the
said
beams
look
hitting
up.
the
I've
ground.
looked up.
I know, but
Look up, not that far
take
up.
some creative license or something.
Back where you belong, ape.
Oh, this is something else that could happen to the Revenant, by the way, or used to be able to happen to the Revenant. That cast he does, where he like drains life from. He could do that to the Revenant. He used to be able to do that to the Revenant,
No, no.
which is pretty funny. You know what I mean? Because it went. Here, let's see if he can do the solar thing again. It's pretty funny because like it wouldn't drain anyone else's health, right? He just drains the Revenant.
Right, yeah. Be like, it actually makes a good target.
It's like
That's a nice little
preferable.
decoy.
Just whittling at him.
Back where you belong, ape.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
No, Ember.
Right,
Ah, you're fine.
Let's see.
Shake
Back
it
up,
off.
back up. Waiting for him to. Oh, he went center. Never mind. Bree's gonna. I think we're gonna have to kill him.
Go the way of
I was hoping he was
all
doing
weak flesh.
cast again. Oh look, my guy was not floating anymore. He was standing. That was cool. For like a split second, he was just standing there.
No, Idris Elba.
Despised by angels. Resented.
Right,
Guy's
so-
everywhere. He's like in every movie.
I apologize for this rude awakening to how alone and friendless man.
All right, so
truly is
your
in a
crystal,
pitiless universe.
your crystal is in this tower,
From its very formation,
as
Yeah.
opposed to in another tower.
As opposed to in another tower, yeah.
it tends towards everything in its place, hates an overachiever, and what defines mankind, if not the need to commit great works, and to be made to suffer for them.
We really didn't get to discuss the new player experience, except for in how it related to the agent system.
Right.
But,
Well, I think we could do that next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. We can maybe
Say
have a
something
little
for
more,
next time.
more structure, more notes on that, because there's definitely like a lot of new player stuff, tips I end up giving out like on random streams. Whenever I see a new person streaming, and I go stalk them, as I do.
I'd say so next time because we've seen a lot of I see it on Twitch a lot. I see a lot of people playing the Secret World. I see a lot of people playing, but they're always like in Savage Coast, or they're in Blue Mountain, or they're in like or Kingsmith, right? They're
Kingsmith,
generally
yeah.
new characters starting off, and they're like, oh my god, the writing's good, this game is awesome. Like, how did I not know about this? You know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we see that a lot. We see a lot of those new players.
So I tend to like, you know, when I find one of those, I like try and not backseat. But like it's really hard to sometimes be like, oh,
True. Yeah.
do this. Like, okay, look at this menu option. You know, go here, and now your life is gonna be 10 times easier. And like, inevitably, like every single time, they're always like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like I've stayed up way too late. Like I've like ended my stream at like 2 in the morning, hosted someone, and it was someone new playing, and then like, you know, spent the next hour and a half in their stream helping them out with stuff because I can't stop myself.
Got it.
I saw the little flicker when your brain got the knowledge. Oh, that reminds me.
I would say, wasn't there? Yeah, like
is Valmer still in here, or did he leave already?
I think he left.
Because I will show you guys. Boom. In the Twitch chat.
Oh, that's your Twitch emote.
Oh yeah.
It's my
Is
tier 3.
The icon.
The beta icon for learning a legend. Instead of
The icon that was in the beta of the game for when you learned a legend was sort of this like the information was getting zapped directly into your brain.
which is what's happened. People don't necessarily pick up on that right away, or if at all, or really pay attention to it. I
Or if
guess.
at all, yeah, really.
But it says like when they start out like transmit, receive, you know, witness, like they're beaming shit into your brain, and there is actually something somewhere, either in here or in maybe like the park or something, like they communicate like in that direct to brain sort of fashion. And if you're not of like, you know, a bee, like it can be pretty damaging. Like even to us, they're like, the reason they do it in drips is so they don't melt your brain. The reason you get legends in like pieces and you don't just have like a download of everything the bees know is because it would like literally turn your brain to mush.
You're right, it would melt you.
So, yeah, I really liked that icon, and I was super sad on the beta, whatever beta wave it was, that it went away and got replaced by the honeycomb. I mean, the legends always look like honeycombs, right? Like that.
Yeah, it's a more cohesive thing now.
Well, but see, now it's just to me redundant because it's a floating honeycomb, and your interaction icon is a floating honeycomb. Like how, like. Whereas, like, if you look at this crystal, right, your inspect is a magnifying glass because you're inspecting it, right? And when you go light stuff on fire for the gasoline in Kingsmith with the zombies. It's a lighter. It shows a
A
lighter.
little lighter, yeah.
It shows like what you're doing, and if you, I think it's a lot of things people don't pay attention to, but it's a nice little detail that they actually do go out of their way to make those little inspect icons kind of sort of mean something or like try and convey what's happening. And so I really loved the fact that the legend had one that conveyed what was happening. And they changed it to just be the default honeycomb. And I was so sad. So sad. I mean, maybe it was like a branding thing or something, and someone hyped the chain was like, no, it's got to be the honeycomb.
Yeah.
You know what I
and
mean?
that's the only thing that I can think of, really.
Because I really think
as
it
far as
made
a
more
reason.
sense to be the other one, just as far as like staying in the same schema of how the rest of the inspect, or not inspect, but interact icons work. But yeah, I made it my tier 3 sub emote.
Nice.
So like, no one subs to me at tier 3, so it's basically a free emote.
It's your emote, yeah.
Because you're always your own like max sub on Twitch, right? Like you're always a tier 3 sub to your own channel. Like, it doesn't cost you anything, but like you are a tier 3 sub to yourself. So yeah, it's like it's my free emote is the. I guess if someone wants it, they can sub.
Yeah.
But that would seem pretty silly.
Like if someone wants to spend what $15 a month or $30 a month or whatever the tier 3 sub is.
Yeah, I do have some tier 2 subscribers, oddly enough. They get my Jimmy Flex emote. But yeah, I don't know. I really wanted to use that. So I'm so glad Vomer finally found that. That was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing they had stuff from that long ago, like still archived.
That's what I mean, from beta. Like like it had to be like on a screenshot somewhere.
Yeah, it was. He sent me the screenshot, like the original screenshot, and it's literally a screenshot of a legend with the interact icon up. Like he took a screenshot.
Right, yeah. Which is a long way to go.
In whatever beta wave that was. Like never overwrote it or deleted it or whatever. It's crazy.
Because I take a million screenshots, but I also delete a million screenshots. So like it's like, this one's got the UI in it, delete. This one's got the whatever, delete. So to keep something that has like the icon over the UI and the icon over, no, I would have deleted that almost instantly.
I'm kind of guessing he took it on purpose of that interaction icon just based on the screenshot.
Yeah.
Like the screenshot was literally of a floating legend with the interact icon.
Right. Meaning he was maybe thinking of using it for something else further down the road.
Yeah, or maybe like just be like, hey, this is what the new interact icon for a legend looks like. Like literally, I think he literally took it for that reason because it was different. You know, it was something that we discussed on the forums and everything. We're like, whoa. And the thing is, I don't remember a single. The beta forums were like, pretty nasty at times. But I can't remember a single negative comment about that particular interaction icon. And then it went away.
No, more people were more focused on the actual game.
I can't imagine them actually having a
I mean, people
I can't imagine people
about
being
anything.
angry at it.
Yeah.
Right. I can't imagine someone actually complaining about that. No, wait. Yes, I can.
I started a thread when it left. I was like, where'd it go? Bring it back. I had some traction, like the people that bothered to notice. Like, I would say I think might have been the only thread I've ever started that didn't have someone disagreeing with me on it. Like, no one bothered to post in that thread saying like, oh no, the old one was stupid. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was like, oh yeah, that's weird.
No, that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no people telling me to go to hell on that particular one.
Hey, I really like that icon. You shut your mouth.
That's like more normal than what happened.
It really is, yeah. Cripes.
But
so people find any reason to be negative that they can. It's I don't know. Anyway,
they really do.
And it's like, people, it's a choice. It's a choice to be negative. You can, if you don't like something, you can just not do it. You can just move on. You can just go on with your life. you can just do something that you actually enjoy and makes you happy. You could do that. You could totally do that.
Uh-oh. So I just happened to look at Discord right now. And a little bit earlier, not much earlier, maybe like 40 minutes, someone was saying that the website authentication is down, like people can't buy Aura. And then someone else posted in the Legends Discord that can someone reboot Anarchy Online login service, please? We can't get in.
So the troubles are far from over, is basically what we're saying.
I mean, I think we're obviously in the game. We haven't been booted. I'm not sure what's going to happen if I log out.
I've logged in multiple times. So
yeah, you've crashed and come back. That's true. So, but it also appears that you can purchase Aurum through Steam right now, but you can't. Are either of you on a Funcom client, by the way?
No.
I am, yes.
On a Funcom client, can you click on the little plus button and see if it lets you try and purchase Aurum? Like, you don't. The thing is, like, if you push the plus, it like just doesn't come up or something like that.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Yep. Okay. Well, there we go.
The
Live
instant purchase is still coming up though, like the little shopping cart icon.
Yeah, yeah, but the Aurum part doesn't. Right?
Nope, nothing happens.
Yep. And they can't log into Anarchy Online, so it could just be like the whatever, because that's an older, like that's like the first MMO, right? Was Anarchy Online?
Anarchy Online, yeah.
So the login interface might be that particular type, same type that's having the problem. Does that make sense? But yeah, I just tabbed over to Discord and was like, what is this?
So everything else is coming up. The ARM exchange is still up.
So the other person was saying that they couldn't log into their account on the website. Right? You know how you can log into your account on Zero Legends?
Yes.
Or is it Funcom dot? I forget what it is now. I forget what it is.
It's Funcom.
Not the forums, but like your actual account. What is that? Zero Legends. There we go. Account. So account.secretlegends.com. I'm told they couldn't log in to the website. It didn't let. So maybe that whatever authentication schema that is what the Aurum pop-up uses for whatever reason.
Probably.
That's my best guess based on both those things being.
And my guess is if I crash now, there would probably be a good chance I might not be able to make it back in.
I'm gonna exit out and see if my Funcom client can log in. Because I was thinking about streaming 1IP-Man when we were done, but maybe not if if it's not able to log in.
Well, if anything else, now's probably a good time that we should end the show anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can go on
a little late.
Yeah, it's almost 3
couple
hours.
hours or something.
Yeah. So, agents.
Foster said I was able to buy Aurum by clicking the icon. Through Steam or through Funcom, Foster? The Steam one works.
The Steam one works. I was not able to bring up the interface. Or maybe it fixed itself in the...
Yeah, in the game. But in the game, do you play through the Steam account or do you play through the Funcom account? Because the Aurum purchase is different. Steam. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Steam, like you actually have to have like the overlay on for Aurum purchases to work. So it goes through a different obviously it goes through some kind of different
Well, it goes through Steam's
thing. Right. So when you're on the
wallet system.
Funcom client, you hit that plus button, it goes through Funcom's authentication, right? And that's the part that's not working. Is whatever layer that is also not letting Anarchy Online players log into the Anarchy Online server. It seems, because it's a pretty big. Otherwise, it'd be a pretty big coincidence that 10-15 minutes, both reports happen. But I can log in, by the way. Like, you can log into your actual account on Funcom, like in the game.
I was saying I'm trying to log back into the game, and it seems to be successful.
Yeah, but I think the website account login is different.
It is, yes.
And so that I think it's that particular mode that's busted right now, for whatever reason. Interesting. Live up to the minute news on 0 Point Report. We'll stay with this topic as it unfolds.
As it breaks.
Our chopper in the sky.
All right, who's our man on the street?
That's right, the guy getting blown over by the big storm.
Yeah, with people walking by in the background.
Yes. Right. I'm only barely standing up in this. Yeah, one person walks by like, what's this guy doing?
In shorts and a t-shirt.
Or the news anchor woman that's in the canoe or a kayak. There's just two people walking by. I think they walked right through her shot too.
Like literally, yeah, they just literally walked right through.
It was a little bit over ankle deep water.
Riding a kayak.
I just wanted to use my kayak, okay? I never get a chance to use it.
You're like, guys, you're ruining it for me. But agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 03-CKA. You can catch us recording live every other Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live. For instance, I am AK Foster, joining us in chat, being the awesome individual that they are. You can get in touch with us by engaging with us on Twitter at 0 Point Report, emailing us at the 0 Point Report at gmail.com, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel of the same name, and joining us on our Discord server. And also, I don't think I put on here, and also downloading our shows on your podcast catcher of choice. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best Secret World missions. Have a great night, and see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Night.